Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you're listening or watching, I thank you for doing so. I'm Kevin Mumphrey once again, and this is Fuck It. We'll fix it in post. I'm here with my colleagues Victoria V.A. Jones
What's going on?
and Carson High Ferguson.
Yeah.
Today we have a guest out in Dallas, Texas. We're talking to actor, writer, Damondray Christle. How are you doing today?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I am great. Thank you for taking time out to talk to us today. So
Sure.
I usually like to start this off with basically, how did your love of film begin?
To be honest with you, so it started when I was in high school. I was in theater, and then my older brother, he's an actor as well, and my sister's into the arts as well. And it kind of just fell in my lap, if I'll be honest with you, because I went to a set with my brother just as an extra. Before you know it, I saw myself on TV, and I kind of like manifested it. I was like, you know what? From this day forward, this is kind of what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be acting and creating. Didn't know the writing part yet, like that, but the acting part was something I definitely wanted to do. So it was from the movie.
Your brother, what's the age difference between you two?
It's about 7 years apart.
So, like, how old was your brother when he started?
He started when he was really young. Was about 14, 15, somewhere around there. Yeah, he was on Friday Night Light, the series at that time, like way back in the gap. They had a series. I think Michael B. Jordan was on there as well at the time.
Yes. Oscar winner, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, Oscar. Let's put some love on that Oscar winner, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, he was doing that, and he was on Texas Walker Ranger. And me being a younger brother, I just I watched him, and then I wound up getting to it. Didn't even know it because I was a whole track runner growing up. So the transition was crazy. It was crazy.
So, like, when your brother was doing like Friday Night Lights and all this stuff, like, were y'all kind of like when you were in school, like local celebrity, or did you kind of like, hey, that's my brother on TV over there?
You know what? I think honestly, he was big. Well, he was developing, but my sister was the one who was really kind of like doing her thing. She was doing her thing because she did the Jeffersons remake with Jennifer Hudson on ABC with Jimmy Kimmel and them, and she's done all some great things. And my brother did Carter High with Vivica Fox, where he played one of the main characters in that story. People knew I was the younger brother, but I was kind of in the background. I wasn't really just acting, so it was kind of like me just learning and watching them do it, and it literally just fell in my lap. Like no lie.
What was it that first when you went to set, you were like, man, this is where I need to be? What was that moment that you realized that?
You know what? When I was on the Carter High set, I was chilling. I was talking to Pooch Hall, and he was so chill. Like we were just chopping it up, and we was on the football field or whatever, and we was chopping it up. And I was like, I seen all these cameras, and all these lights and people with all this stuff on. I was like, dang, it's crazy. And then my brother walked up. Oh yeah, this is my younger brother, Damondray. Whoop through through. Oh hi, younger brother. Whoop through. Then Vivica Fox come out. Everybody clapping for Vivica Fox. So I'm like, I remember her from Independence Day,
Right,
So
right.
I'm like, all these people I watched growing up, I'm here with them right now. I'm like, I gotta get into this. And so it just happened. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I don't care what nobody else talking about. Nobody can stop me from what I want to do. And I remember just going to the red carpet premiere for Carter High. You had ESPN there, ESPN2. Every
Right.
news station you can think of was there. And I had what was it called? When an extra band or whatever to get in, like around the red carpet and all that, because it's my brother. I'm hanging with Peyton Alex Smith from All American, like we chilling or whatever. So it's just like, oh, this is what we do. I'm gonna do this. So I'm like,
Hey,
that's how
that'll do it though. That'll
that's
do it.
how
You
it is,
see,
right?
you see all those people who you grew up with, or watch TV when you were growing up. You're
Yeah,
watching those people on TV, and you're seeing them in real life. That'll do it though.
I
it's a,
don't know. Oh my bad. I don't know why, but my mind just went like left when you said Vivica Fox. I'm just thinking, hey, she didn't disrespect Will Smith.
Why would you think that?
She's in the news again, man, for disrespecting
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't even hear that. What?
Yeah. She talking about
But
she
you know
don't-
what? That
she
comes
don't
with
let it go.
territory, though. It comes with territory.
Hey, I guess it does.
But
It comes with territory.
so, like I said, before you even got into acting, you've had these experiences with celebrities and being on set. So by the time that you started, Did you think kind of those experiences kind of helped prepared you for it?
No, nah, it didn't. I was really nervous. When I grew up, I was very mild-mannered. I was very shy. I was super athletic though, but I was just really like real chill. I'm still chill like that now, but it really took me to learn the craft. So what we did growing up was we watched a lot of movies. We watched a lot of movies, from horror movies to dramas to watching Will Smith, Jamie Foxx on Ray, sitting in the living room with my older brother and sister, making potato wedges and grilled cheese sandwiches and analyzing movies, and didn't even realize that the whole time I was learning these movies and that I would be doing them and creating and writing movies and being on TV shows and stuff like that. I had no idea. One of the things was, when I went to college in Austin. A lot of my friends was like, I was really charismatic and goofy. And they was like, bro, you need to get into acting. And I was like, maybe one day. I don't know. I was like, maybe one day. I didn't think nothing of it until I start really quick. I tried to do a role in Atlanta, Georgia, and nothing worked for me to go to Atlanta. I couldn't get a car. I couldn't get nothing. And then there was another role in another city not too far from me where it was worth my while going to that city, because that city is the job that led me to keeping a lead role for 5 years. And I was like, wow, that
Sometimes it
is,
works out that way though. You're
mhm.
guided I believe that you're guided to the spot where you're supposed to be. So maybe you weren't supposed to be in Atlanta. Maybe you're supposed to be in that spot that you were now.
And you know what? I believe you to be right about that, because I think that everything it's on alignment. Everything has its own timing. Whatever you desire to do, if you really believe it in your heart and within your spirit that that's what you want to do, by all means, I really believe that it's gonna happen. That's just how I believe. And because I went back and watched the movie I was in as an extra, and I paused it on my TV. That's when everybody was watching cable. I mean, people still watch cable, but everybody's streaming now. I
I
was
was like, do
watching.
we watch cable?
Yeah, right. So I was on demand, and I paused the TV and I saw myself. They showed me so much, and I was with this lady who writes for Oprah Network, and I was in the main scenes with her, and I just paused and I stared at it. I'm so serious. I stared at it, and I said, from here on out, this is what I want to do. I manifested it. I believed it that much, and I felt like nobody could stop me from doing what I want to do.
And you worked hard at it. So I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
you put in the work, you gon' get there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Faith without works is dead. You can't say that you want to be the fastest person in the world, but you're not training with speed. You
Right.
have to put in the work. So I put myself in position to be around other people that is in the same mindset as me, that we're all developing together and have the same mindset and the same elevation goals to go forward. I'm very adamant about what I want. So if they're not on that type of time, then I don't know what to tell them. Yeah.
Now, if you've dealt with people that they talk like they want the same things you do, like they sound very motivated, they don't necessarily, but when it's kind of actually get some movement on, but
Yeah.
they don't really have the movement to go with the words,
Have I worked with them before?
or even just dealt socially.
I've ran into a lot of people like that. They talk a good game. You know, they talk a good game. They talk a real good game. Man, I want to do this, I want to do that. But as soon as something don't go your way, you quit. As soon as something don't go your way, you give up. You really don't want it for real. Because if you wanted it for real, you wouldn't let that one no deter you away from your desire. You have to,
Amen.
you can't give up. Because if you give
Trust
up,
me.
you quit on anything else.
We have been through those situations. We have been through those situations. We have ran into those people. We've had meetings after meeting, and nothing went down. And it's just like, are we gonna do something, or we just gonna sit here and have meetings once a week? So,
Hey, meetings is doing something.
okay.
It helps you get to know people. So, in high school, you were doing like high school musicals and things of that sort, right?
Right.
So, doing it like on stage, like what was the first musical you remember doing?
That's funny you bring that up. It was actually a High School Musical play. I was in a High School Musical play, and I was like, "Did you go look up something?" Because yeah, I was in a High School Musical play.
Yeah, I
Here's
do
the
a little
thing.
research.
Here's the thing, though. I didn't get no main role. I was just there to get out of class. If I'm being honest, I was there to get out of class,
We
and
all done something to just in high school, like just to get out.
Yeah, I was like, look, can I get out of class? The whole school came today. Remind you, I ran track. So all the athletes coming there, what Damondray doing on stage with all these theater kids, dancing and moving around or whatever. But I wasn't ashamed because what was going on the whole time was lining me up for where I am right now. To where I'm doing live immersive shows, to where I'm doing this. Sometimes we don't even understand the vision ahead. That's just how God works, and everybody was like, I don't see him doing this in the future. Nobody believed in me because I was the quiet one, loud and obnoxious and carrying on. I was the one who was real, like, hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Everything's fine. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. Put my head down tight. But then when I got to acting, I became a whole different person, and I was able to be people without getting in trouble. I was able to I was able to play a murderer or play somebody schizophrenic or play somebody who, anything, and that's the beauty of acting. And also me being a writer, I'm able to create these roles and allow people to be something that they never got to shine for. So
That is the best thing.
yeah.
I can come after you on set, but I ain't going to jail because I'm just acting.
Yeah. We just acting.
Yeah, we just acting. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all it was. We just
Are
acting.
you one of those people who like playing the villain?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't actually. I love playing I love playing the cool guy, meaning like I like to save people. So if it was so for example, if I was in a Marvel movie and I had to be a hero or a villain, I would choose the hero. But a lot of people love the villain. A lot of people love the villain. Some people want the villain to get away, but I would rather have the hero role, just to and gain those powers. Gain those powers and try to save the world. I'm always trying to save people in real life. And I think that would transition into the creative side of writing and be able to do that with actual powers and all these cool things and gadgets we got now to make everybody look so cool, So I'll be the hero.
They
I'll be the
usually are kind of like quieter people that like to stay in the back. They tend to like to be the villain just because
nah, I would
it's
say
like a safe way to let out say things they really would like to say, but they don't get to in their day-to-day life.
well here's the side to me though. Like I will speak my mind. We can be in the president's office. I'm gonna tell him how I feel. Like I'm not ashamed to speak up. That's the thing. But I feel like there's always a time and place to be wise on what you say and how to go about saying what you need to say to get across. So I just try to let wisdom take over that, instead of me going off my flesh. Because we'll say some stuff and be like, dang, I just say that. Now
Yeah.
I still
you,
need some help in that department, man. I got to work on that.
it's cool. We all growing, man.
It's a process.
I'm a little
We all,
loose.
we all
So
growing.
what moment would you consider your kind of breakout moment as far as an actor?
I don't think I've had that yet. I think I'm still growing and developing. I think I've had some dope roles and I think I've created some cool stuff and some cool stuff is on the way. But I think I'm still humbly developing. If I be honest with you, I feel like there's some special stuff I've done, but I don't think I consider it a breakout role right now. Yeah.
Now, because now I'm kind of going backwards a little bit. When you're talking about you and your family kind of go back and like study movies, like
Mhm.
what movie you can think of back then that you may have learned the most from?
I love horror movies. So I grew up watching Scream. Scream is one of my favorite movies, slasher thrillers. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 1974 version. The one with Jessica Biel, the '03 version is really good too. Pulp Fiction, Samuel Jackson, John Travolta. Like just learning the different gestures that these characters portray, like how they move, how they walk, how they talk, the camera angles. I'm looking at everything, and so it's just like when you have a different cinematographer for a different movie, you get to look at the contrast, the colors, tone, all that good old stuff. And I just be, for example, I don't care what nobody say. In my mind, in my personal opinion, Scream movie has the best opening scene of horror movies, thrillers, I'll say. I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying, because when Drew Barrymore opened that scene up, did you look at how the camera angles followed her, the transitions, just the whole nature of that scene? Everyone thought she was gonna be the girl who stayed throughout the whole process, but no, they removed her out early, got her out the way because everybody knew who she was from E.T. Everybody knew who she was growing up from all these movies in the 90s. And so when she did Scream, we like, dang, she out there like that. Then they had everybody as Courtney Cox and all these other characters to come in and continue the franchise. But that opening scene, to me, was one of the best opening scenes of a thriller movie I can ever see.
I can agree with you.
You know what's wild about that? They probably only had her for like the weekend. And probably like a day. So they're like, hey, how can we get her up in here, get her up out of here?
I give it 2 days.
Hey, that's probably all they had, honestly.
And that scene has been played for years. So now,
well, wait, what you mean? They only had about a day.
Well, you know, like shoot it? Yeah, like certain actors, like they'll get them, like, but they got to work in their schedule.
Yeah, but she had that. You have the script before you say yes to anything, though.
Yeah, but sometimes they'll make a write or edit due to the actor to get them up in there, because the scene could have possibly not even been in the original screen. You know what I'm saying? Screenplay or whatever. I'm pretty sure it was, but I'm saying like they've done that before on other films.
No, I get you.
To where they be like, you know what, man, we got a bankable star right here. Everybody know this person. Like, how can we get him up in this movie? But they only got X amount of days. Like the Ice Cube movie that was on Prime. That was all. And that was all.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like they only had it for a limited amount of time, probably.
I understand that, but now I'm a big Scream fan too, and I have to agree with you on that. That's a very, very impelling opening scene, and like everybody else, part of the audience, you would assume that she was going to carry through the whole film. When I first seen that film, I thought, okay, Drew Barrymore is going to be in the whole film, but I love Wes Craven anyways. So
yeah, me too. And I really love 90s films. You know, it's just a vibe. Like, bring it back. The classics.
So speaking of bringing it back, so you know they've kind of made remakes of Scream, and like, they were supposed to be making another one, but you know, the business of it didn't work out. The last remake, did you see it?
Remake?
That's
not a. It's not considered a remake.
No, what is?
No, it's like a continuation.
Yeah,
continuation. So you've seen? Yeah, I'm not a horror person.
I understand.
Did you see the more recent continuation?
Honestly, I haven't seen it. I was supposed to go see it, but I realistically, once it got past 3, I kind of lost track of Scream. The first one, the second, and third one was the best ones to me. When it got to 4 and 5 and all that, I looked at them, but I didn't really get into them like how I did with 1 through 3. I just lost track of it, if I'm being honest with you. But 1 through 3 was amazing to me. And they put 2 over 3. But I think sometimes Scream 3 is better than Scream 2. But it kind of goes back and forth.
Well, you hold Scream in high regard, obviously, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the spoofs, like the scary movies? What do you think about that franchise?
Oh, man, it's funny you bring it up. I was just talking to a close friend of mine earlier, and I was telling him that June 5th, I need to go see Scary Movie 7. I think it's 7. Is it 7 or 6? Well, I really dislike, though, that I'm glad that the Wayans brothers are getting it back. I just made a post yesterday on their page, and Keenan's wife, ex-wife, had responded to me, and I was just talking about Anna Faris because she's hilarious. And Scream 1 is hilarious. Scream 2 is hilarious. Scream 3, that's when things changed because they moved it over to a different, company. But Scream 1 through 2 with Marlon and Sean is hilarious, and Sean's roles are. But they have to have the main core cast, Regina Hall, and the rest of them. Yes. And I'm gonna go watch.
Most of them are coming back. Yeah, I think they're coming back. Like all the original cast, yeah. I think they're coming back.
Okay, cool.
I'm excited to see it though.
You gonna go watch it or?
I am going to wait a little bit. So what I usually do when stuff comes out in theaters or something that I want to go see, me being a filmmaker, it's kind of hard for me to go to movies just to watch a movie because I don't know why. I just have to be real interested in it. But anyways, I'll wait for a minute and then I'll go and I'll see it.
Get that matinee. Go ahead, tell them.
Yeah.
That matinee. That $12 matinee.
Yeah, that's that's not the reason.
I get it.
So, you was on the Chosen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just talk about your role on The Chosen.
I was really just with Mary Magdalene. She was going through a transition at the time, meeting up with Peter. And it was Peter and Thomas, I believe. Peter, was it Pete? It was for sure Peter, but I think it was Thomas, one or the other. And she was just going through a major transition of mental exhaust. And what happened was we was at the table gambling with her, and she was having reminiscing over her father at the time and just how she was struggling as a little girl growing up. The thing about The Chosen is when I got on there to do that a specific role, The Chosen tries to break it down to where you can get a backstory of each character. So each person probably has their own backstory. So Mary Magdalene in the Bible, if you be realistic, you don't really hear too much about Mary Magdalene in the Bible like that. So like you hear she's with Jesus or you hear she's over here, but in the Chosen, they break it down where you're able to look at her emotional side of who she was as a woman. And I just so happened to bear witness and be there to be with Dallas Jenkins, who's the creator of The Chosen, and they wanted me to be there at that table, and it was a pretty fun, interesting time. I'll be honest with y'all, we was there. I got there. Ooh, I think it was a Tuesday day. It was a Tuesday. I said Tuesday day. It was a Tuesday, and we got there around like 3 p.m. I didn't get home probably till probably 6 that morning. And so when we was shooting, we probably was shooting around like 12, 1 at night, 12, 1 in the morning, something like that. And I was half asleep. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was half asleep. And Dallas was looking at me and I was like, I'm up, I'm up, I'm up, I'm up. And if so, and just seeing the behind the scenes, so many different conversations concerning that scene, it's a lot of commentary on that. And so just me being able to be amongst great others, I dig that. I definitely dig that.
Now, at the time, was that like the biggest project you had worked on?
No, because I do live immersive shows. So I performed for Disney before. I've done stuff for people from Wizard of Waverly Place, and I've worked with her name is Twala. Her son is actually the young man who played on the Little Rascals movie growing up with
Okay.
Lindsay Lohan and Get a Clue. She's spoken highly of me. That's where I was referring to with me doing the 4 to 5 year lead roles of the live immersive shows that I've done, to where I play a character by the name of Prince Estabrook, which was an enslaved African American man who fought in the Minuteman War in the 1700s. And so I lead that role. And so a crowd of people come from different parts of the world, and they come and travel with us on our journey as we travel for me to fight in the war. He doesn't die. He actually lived to be 90 something years old. Prince Estabrook, and that's a lot of history that possibly trying to make it into a movie, hopefully, because a lot of people don't know things about Black African culture. So that'd be great to make that into a movie because we do the shows, and the audience love the shows.
Now, for people who haven't kind of dealt within a live immersive show, like how is like being an actor for an immersive show different than, let's say, or even similar to being on theater?
Say that last part again. I'm sorry.
Like, how would you contrast doing a live immersive show to doing theater?
The only difference is, if I be honest with you, is that the audience gets to come with you. They get to walk with you through the whole journey. So whatever part of the journey you're on, they're literally like right in. So if you're in the house, they're walking in the house with you. It's kind of almost like a video game. Like if you're in first person and you see it from that angle, they're with you everywhere you go. Whatever you feeling, if you're getting shot at in a war, the bullets are flying past them too. Now, theater, you're literally on stage. You get to interact with the audience, but they're not able to come on stage with you unless there's some type of invite. The live immersive shows, you're there right then and there. Whatever you mess up on, hey, they don't know. You better keep it going. The show must go on. And so you get to interact. You get to add your own ad libs. You get to do whatever you want to do if your director trusts you enough to be able to continue that. But the difference is also with immersive shows that they're groups. So groups come in one by one. You might have a show 20 times that day, but it's at different time sets. So you can transition your acting or whatever gestures you choose through each show based on your scene partners.
Now, 20 shows a day?
Yeah, I probably do 20 to 30 shows a day. And because it's broken into sections. So
Okay.
one show may be, say I start at 10 a.m. for that particular group, that show might not be done to 10:45. So I get like a 5-minute break. The next show is at 10:55 to 11:15, 11:20 because they're going through. It's like they're going to the next scenes into the next scenes. So I transition them through scenes.
So how
Those-
tired are you at the end of this?
I'm tired and we have to do it again the next day. So we're probably having like up to 60 to 100 shows based on crowd. And we're probably seeing over 1,000 people in a time frame of 2 days.
So is there an off season? Is there an off season?
Yeah. Right now. But
But we're glad we got you on the off season.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, it starts back up in July.
So what do you do to prepare yourself for that frame of time that you have to do those shows? How do you prepare?
It's all mental.
In those 5 minutes.
It's all I sit down. And my mother who plays in the show, she's in theater really heavy. She's really dope. I sit down and they be like, "How you feel?" I'm like, "I'm good." I get some water, and then my producer comes in. The next group is up. I rush outside, jump right back into character. You're sweating, you're hot, you're running. Because I'm in a war in the project. I'm in a war, so we actually have weapons and bombs, and I'm rolling and falling, and I'm doing that over and over and over again. So much so that you get so adjusted to doing it, it becomes second nature. And so
It's
they
like
trust me
routine.
enough they trust me enough to do it. And we've been on the news and stuff like that. And like I said, we've had people from California and different parts of the world come out. People that I watched on TV all the time and computers, and like, they want to meet them one day, and they out watching my show. And I can't say nothing to them because I have to stay in character. And I
Right.
don't see them no more. But I'm like, dang, it came out. But, it's a blessing.
So go back to the mental. You preparing for it. You said it's mental. So how do you prepare for that going into that atmosphere or those shows?
So a week or two prior, I do a lot of things with potassium, bananas, drink a lot of fluids, fruit intake like crazy, eating, sleeping, making sure you get enough rest, because I drive there. So realistically, there's a house where I can stay at out there on the location, because the studio is pretty large, but I just drive from home. I prepare my mind with music, getting ready. As soon as I get there, they're like, "Hey, you ready?" Everybody's up, like their energy is up at like 5:30, because I'm the only 2% of Black people out of the show, if that makes sense. The
Right.
rest,
Yeah.
the energy is high. "Hey, Damondray, you ready? You ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I got to get up."
Are you doing the natural thing? Are you doing energy drinks? What are you using to help you with that?
I don't believe in energy drinks. It don't do my body no good. Me personally,
Okay.
I really just Gatorade here and there. Sometimes they give me these IVs. We have a lot of IVs on set. We have a medic on set, so they make sure that we stay hydrated throughout set. We take a break to eat. I think we get like a 20-minute break to eat, and then we get right back into it. And then the next group comes out. How I know the next group is coming is because I heard a drum set, and the drum set is really, really loud, and that's letting me know that they're coming through with the priest and with the people of the city that's in the show. And so my mother that's in the show, my family, they're like, "All right, go, 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 go." And so even if I'm tired, I have to keep up the same energy. Like, and when I tell you guys that they it's an outdoor show too. It's 50% inside, 50% outside. And when I tell you each time we do it, it's around 96 degrees, 95 degrees. Yeah, the only thing that's helping us is staying hydrated in those trees, because we're really under some trees. I be praying that it rains sometime. I'll be like, "Let it rain, Lord, please." I'll be praying. Oh, that's what you said what I'll be preparing for. I'll be praying the whole week. "Lord, let it rain." I'll be praying. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to do what I'm doing. So I'm grateful.
So with this stuff, well, it's live thing but stuff being live, anything can happen. So if there any like kind of funny or awkward experiences when you've been doing these live immersions?
Oh, for sure. Sometimes people come too far into the scene where they're like in the scene literally with you. And I'm like, "Get your son, get your daughter." Like, we have a whole musket that I have to tussle with. I have to load. I have to go through training on how to shoot a musket. I have to go through musket training. Even though I know how to do it, each year is different. I have to go through the training regardless to make sure that we're able to shoot those muskets correctly. Sometimes people, they get very emotional with our scene because we're based in the 1700s, and as you guys know, in the 1700s we were still in bondage. We were still in slavery, and so these people, they're teary-eyed crying. And I wish that, hey, I wish back then it was, people had more remorse for us, but that wasn't the case. But they get to see a bit of 10% of what happened, and so we bring them through, and they just love it. They sometimes, when I run off to go do a scene, "We love you, Princess the Brooks. See you later." They screaming like there's Prince. So my energy's up. "Come with me, come with me." passing over my head, smoke flying. Like it's an adrenaline. It's an adrenaline, and so even when you tied, that adrenaline is what kind of keeps you going. Because some people was really in the military and they're in that mind frame with you. It's fun. It's definitely fun.
Now, at your time in track, did any of that kind of prepare you for something like this?
Yeah, man, he running.
Well, I
He
mean,
was running.
outside of the obvious.
Track, that's a good thought. I think for me, again, it goes back to the mental. I'm in my lane and I'm not worried about who's in lane 4, 6, 7, 8. I'm running in my lane. I'm looking straight ahead. I'm not looking back. It's all mental. What are you going to do for what you've been preparing for right now? Like, you've been preparing this whole week, you've been training, you rested, now you're here. Now it's time to perform. That's how I look at it. Now it's time to let the people see. Like, don't even go off your lines. Don't stay on your lines with what your dialogue is, but let your emotion carry. And that's how I be feeling, just letting my emotion carry the scene. If we get off script, my scene partners are good enough to be able to go with me there. And I love them because I know they're able. And so I just be like, bet, if I do this, they're gonna match it. And the audience don't be knowing, because remind you, each group is different. So they can't say, oh yeah, we saw them over there do it. They don't know. So that's the beautiful part about it. If I was to miss a word, they know to come in and lead me to the next dialogue. So it's repetitive. It's very much so repetitive, but it's fun, and you have to be kind of in some type of healthy shape or some type of something, because you're running. You got these shoes on that don't feel good. You're wearing a tire that's based in that frame, so the shoes are flat, really really flat, and they hard at the edge of your toenails. And you got to cut your toenails. Yeah, because if you hit a rock, then your foot hurt, and you got to keep smiling. It's part of the process, but it's worth my while.
Now, what part of your acting journey led you to writing?
So I was in my room. If I be honest with you, I was in my room and I was just laying down in my bed, and I reached out to a friend of mine named Steven Smith, he's from New York, my brother to this day. And I wrote this movie called First Love. It's a '70s film, and it was really just a short story. I did it with my friend Ava from grade school. She lived in New York and did Broadway. And so she moved back to Dallas, and I was like, you want to do the short story with me? It was like 2 to 4 minutes. And then when we was done with it, I told him, I said, bro, what do we make this a movie? And I never wrote a movie in my life. He was like, all right, cool, we can make it a movie. I just started writing, and the story came out of nowhere, and it was a '70s story, and I started casting for it, people who believed in the vision, and we shot it. And from there, I was like, oh, that was dope. Had a premiere for it, really good turnout. And I told a friend of mine at the time, I said, oh, I got another movie in mind. They were like, did you write it? I was like, yeah, I wrote it. They're like, we can shoot it in about 3 weeks. We can shoot it in 8 days. I said, 8 days? So it was like 12 to 16 hour shoot days, getting it in. And then I just started writing from there. I was like, oh, this is, and then more stories came and it just became repetitive. Yeah, that's what happened.
Now, um, and like, now, what was the first project you written again?
So originally, my first project I actually wrote was this movie called Hunter of the Night. But the first one that was actually shot was First Love.
Okay. Now, we'll just go with First Love. Like, did you have like just a story in mind that made you start writing it, or was it characters? Like, how was that process?
So for me, I think the story came. The story came first, and then as I was writing, I literally write it as my mind is thinking. I don't do a process of, okay, characters. I'm gonna write this character, this character. I literally just write, and I don't even write it. I don't even write it like how a person normally write. I wrote it in my phone. Like, at the time, I wrote it in my notes. I had a long story in my notes. Then I formatted it into a movie script, and I just wrote it. I just came up with the characters. I used my character and Ava's character. Then I created people around us, supporting characters around us. As I was writing, I was like, oh, I'm gonna write this dude. His name is Money Man. He's gonna be this dope person over this a music company. Then I'm gonna get my friend Tommy, which gonna be D, and then Traco, which is his real name, Traco. I was gonna get him a character. He gonna have this big afro. And as I'm thinking all of that, I'm not even writing the backstory. I'm just writing the characters in the story as I'm going. It's just like, I don't know. That's just how my mind is. And
So
I just
you
kept writing.
visualize it. You
I'm visual. I'm
visualize
very
it.
visual.
and then you write it as you visualize it in your head,
Mhm.
right?
I'm
That's
very
kind of how
visual.
I am. That's kind of how I am. Like I can see the script when I'm writing it. I mean, I can see the scene when
You can
I'm
see the
writing it. So
scenes.
once
Yep.
I'm literally looking at it and I'm writing it, and it's weird. It's weird to explain, and I understand that,
But
but
you get it
it's
though.
I get it. I
Yeah,
get it. I'm right there with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
you get it. But that's where the beauty comes. That's where the
it
beauty comes
is.
because it's a creative space that you have that somebody might not get you, but you get it. And that person has to be in your lane to understand, like, oh, that's just their nature of creativity. You can write something stellar, and it can, and people look at it like, dang, you begin to get better and better and better. But you have to be consistent. You have to be, because the stronger you get with your writing, man, it's gonna open doors for you. It's gonna open doors for you.
I truly believe it.
Yeah.
Now, when you were making these characters, did you have someone in your life, like someone you known or a friend of yours, in mind with making the character, or you just shoot
Mm-mm.
them out?
Nah, I just shot him out. The only character that was actually prepared for was Ava. And the girl who played Ava, the girl who I used for the short story, Ava, she didn't even do the movie. I got another friend of mine, Tabitha Miles, which is a really dope actress as well. She just did a Christmas movie that's on Apple TV. She played Ava, and she came in and killed it. And she's a singer, and I needed somebody who could sing. And she real country. And I hit her up. I was like, "Hey, I need you to play this role for me." And she's like, "I don't know, friend. Like, what you mean? Cause I don't know what your story about." I'm like, "Can you trust me a little bit?" I guess I see. And I like, all right. And I hit her up. And then from there, she's like, so what's the backstory with her? Like, what about this? And what about that? And I went with it. And she created it, that character. And then I reached out to the guy who gave us the design for the clothes. He's a fashion designer. He was like, oh, okay, cool. He had nothing but 70s clothes. I'm like, ain't this something? So we was able to go pick and choose clothes and all that. And it just worked out for me at the time. And everybody just believed in the vision. And the thing about Tabitha is she's really country in real life. And so I'm Southern too, but not as Southern as her. And so she brought
She
that.
a
She
different
brought
level.
that. Yeah, she's something else. She like Whitney from different real in real life. So she brought that on, and it was just the chemistry was there.
Now, with writing, when it comes to backstories, do you at just point now? Do you prefer to kind of create the backstory for the characters, or do you prefer the actors to do so?
Oh, that's a good question. I think sometimes I allow them to create it. Sometime based on their maturity in the craft. I'll use that word because sometimes they don't know how to create a backstory. Then they get this block. And they like, I don't know, friend. I don't know how to go about. Does she? They start asking me questions. So I'd be like, okay, but I want to make sure that they're comfortable. So I'll be like, okay, think about it like this. So what if you bring this and then you add that to that? So for example, if I created a character and she was a fashion designer, so are you a high fashion designer? What part of the city do you work in? Like, who do you work around? Like, how do you walk? How do you talk? Are you like, do you date somebody who's real debonair? Like, how do you feel about your character? Like, do you smile a lot? I break it down, and then I let them. If they don't know how, I do it for them. But because I work with a lot of people too who are new in the industry, and I try to help them to grow and develop in the best way I know how. That's all I can tell you on that one. So they let me kind of create their backstory. I guess if I went the long way with your question, but I guess I
No,
create
that's
the
fine.
backstory.
But because you said something that kind of sparked my interest. Like VA also likes working with newer actors. She
Hmm.
tends to for her project. Now, do you prefer working with newer actors or the seasoned ones?
If I'm being honest with you, I prefer both. I prefer both because that gives the new actors a chance to be able to get in the room. And then the seasoned actors who even been in it greater than me gives me a chance to be challenged to be able to uh, play off somebody who I know can, interact with me on a certain level, or I can interact with them on a certain level. And it's worth our while to just be able to maneuver and play with the character. Go outside of what the director even didn't see, and be like, you know what, I'm gonna keep that. I didn't know he was gonna go there with that, or I didn't know she was gonna go there with that. The new actresses and actors sometimes they get scared and timid. Oh well, I just want to go off of what the scene said, and I didn't. They don't challenge themselves to go a little bit farther. I like to challenge myself, to go a little bit higher than what the role says, because just because it says that on paper, and he looked a certain way and then he frowned, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do exactly that. I mean, you can do it, but it's the way you go about it. You might can take your time, turn around very, very slowly as the camera transition on your face. Begin to create that frown in your gestures in your face. Some people turn around, make the frown right then and there. Like you gotta play it slow, you know. So I like to play with it. See, look, you know I ain't lying though. You know I ain't
I
lying.
listen, me as a director, I totally understand.
Yeah,
I get it. I do like working with new actors because I am able to help them. You know what I'm saying? I love seasoned actors. Um they are the best ever, but I don't for me, I don't have to do a lot of directing with seasoned actors. So I kind of let them do their thing. They ask me questions. We go over the scene and we start shooting. But with beginner actors, they ask a lot of questions. They don't want
yeah.
to be wrong. They don't want to do things wrong, but I kind of help guide them. So that's kind of my thing. That's the reason why I like working with new
I can
actors type
appreciate
deal.
that.
So
I can appreciate that because you have patience.
for certain things,
You have
I have
patience
patience for certain, but I have patience for the craft. It's the main thing for me. So yeah,
until you throw your pen down and cut.
I've done it before. Then I'd be like, nope, we done with this. Let's just move on to the next.
Get it. I promise you.
Hey, how come Kevin was laughing?
Because I thought that was funny.
What? Oh, okay. All right.
So now you brought up patience. I kind of wanted you to elaborate a little bit on that. Like, why is it important for the filmmaking process for you to have patience?
Because you can't make a film in one day. You know, it took them however long to build whatever that phrase is to build Rome and whatever that phrase is they be using. Like you really have to have patience because there's a whole storyboard. You have to create everything. You have to make sure that everybody. You have to have pre-production meetings. You have to make sure your crew and your cast, everybody is taken care of. So you can't just jump in and just all right, let's do this. That'll be crazy. So you have to go through a process, and then when you're done with that project, you got to go into the editing room, post production. You know, you have to make sure that everything is from the color to audio, and audio is a big thing with films, definitely in the
My
independent film where
goodness.
audio, you can have great quality, but your audio suck. The whole film is messed up now. And so that'll make me sad. It's like that'll make me sad. Like, God dang. So it's a process. And I know sometimes we want to rush stuff out, but it's definitely you have to be patient, you know. And as a writer and actor, I totally get it. And sometimes, if I'm being honest, I feel like sometimes I can be impatient. But what I mean by that is because I'm so ready to see the product, but I am patient enough to wait and have that anxiousness on when it's coming. So that when it does come, I can be like, oh yeah, this is dope. I'm proud of this. I can promote this to the world and to the people who was a part of this, to my family or to my peers, you know. So it's a process, it's a patient game.
So as being behind the camera, would you say this kind of you've kind of learned like gained more patience being behind the camera?
Yeah, for sure. I'm very patient with that. I'm very patient with that. It's just because I know what comes with it. I know what comes with it. I was a props master on this TV series called Washington's Armor. That's on Apple TV, and I think there's a few other channels or whatever. But I was on the second unit, and when we shot from the morning to the evening for like a month, I was gone for like a month, and just seeing the whole view of that. Mind you, I was on the second unit, so the first unit doing that thing, they on one side of the location. We're on the other side, wherever we are, and just watching them. All right, cut. Now let's get this angles. Let's transition this. They bring in everybody who's a part of the team. I can't think of every name right now. I'm having a brain fart. But everybody who comes in, set dressers and stuff like that. They come in, setting up everything, and just making sure that continuity is right, and just have to wait for maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, jump back into it again, cut again, turn the angles again. To make a movie, TV series, that's a lot. That's a lot. I think making a movie is easier than a TV series, if I'm being honest.
I can believe that.
Yeah, because TV series, you gotta, it's a lot. Just know it's a lot. It's a lot.
Making a movie, there's a point at which it ends. I mean,
Yes,
a TV series ends too, but if it's a good one, it's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a continuous one. Like I'm in a TV series that'll be coming out soon. But even shooting that, like it was fun, it was amazing, but it was a process. It was a process.
Now you're still currently in Dallas, right?
I am in Dallas, yes.
Now, I mean, there's a point where a lot of actors where when they realize that's what they want to do, they move to New York, LA, or Atlanta. So why have you chosen to stay in Dallas?
Because Dallas is going to be the next big thing coming. We have so many actors and actresses here. The TV shows and the movies are developing tremendously. We got new equipment. They're building a new studio out here that they just put a lot of money in. They got Woody Harrison and I can't think of the other guy name who works at UT Austin as a teacher to advocate for new facilities out here. A lot of people are coming from LA and Atlanta, and they're coming out here because Texas is really big, and Texas got a lot of things coming. And we even watch movies back in the 90s and 2000s. Half the time they're on set when they're in these movies, they're in Texas. So why not actually come to Texas and shoot it and do something great out here? Like, I don't think I have to move to be great at what I'm doing. I think a lot of people are coming here to collaborate with us now. I can go visit, but I don't have to move. And LA is so expensive.
That's kind of how it is up here. Nashville. There's a lot of people moving here from LA, New
Okay.
York.
Yeah.
We got a lot of couple of TV shows that are shot here. We got a lot of other stuff shot here. It's I would never move to LA. I'm not moving
Would
to
you move?
LA.
Would you move to Dallas if you had to?
I would move to Dallas. I'm trying to do more stuff in Dallas, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm trying to if the opportunity was right, I'm moving. So
It's
yeah.
a lot of money's about to come in out here.
I believe it every single time I come out there, man. I'm telling you, I see it. That's the reason why I want to like put my imprint in Dallas because I see it. I saw it 5 years ago when I
Hmm.
went to Dallas 5 years ago. So
Okay.
it's been a long time waiting for me. But I you have to move the proper way and do the right maneuvers and stuff like that. But I see it. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
I know
for sure.
for a fact Dallas is going to be one of those big booming places for film. I know it for a fact.
It's coming. Claudia Jordan, she always says, she was at my last premiere, March 28th, and she was telling me, she was like, she want Dallas to be the next big thing. And when I met her years prior, she would say the same thing. And she's out here creating as well and doing great things. Just a lot of people, they're really just really believing in Dallas right now. So I think that we're going to do some great stuff out here. So yeah, you come on out and bring your creativity and make something shake.
Yeah, we gonna talk because yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Now we start to wrap things up. Kind of like a few quick questions. I want to
Hmm.
kind of like a speed round or whatever.
Let's go
First,
for it.
dream collaboration.
Man, Ava DuVernay. Ava DuVernay.
Now, why her?
When she made Selma, it opened me up. It opened my eyes. I was like, man, like she has such an eye. And then she did When They See Us. I think it's called When They See Us. She has this thing going for the culture. And I'm just really big on her vision and stuff like that. I think she's really dope. And also Patina Miller from Power, from Raising Kanan, the one who plays 50 Cent's mother. She's such a strong black woman, and she has that New York demeanor. Like she just owns that show. She owns that show. So yeah.
Now, what is a role that you've watched that you went, damn, I wish I could have played that?
When I got into All American back in the day when All American came out and Spencer James and all them, I was like, dang, I need to be on that show to play football. Like I'm a little slim, but I can lift and get my weight up real quick, and go out there. I play a good receiver corner. But I was like, yeah, I can go out there and do that. And I was actually some audition was sent for me before for the baseball one, uh, back when it was coming out or whatever. But long story short, I didn't get that, so I wound up doing some other stuff or whatever. But yeah, that was a dope show. I like that show.
So, which role do you think you've played that was furthest from your personality?
I was on this show called Smears. It was no. I did this show called Insure where I played a young man who was I don't want to use the word retarded, but he was dyslexic.
Special
I guess
needs.
special needs. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Special needs. We can use that. We can use special needs. And that project was based on a true story. It was based on the LA Times, and it won a lot of awards, a lot of Hollywood awards, and a lot of different awards. We had a good cast. It was written by Nikki Dixon. She does a lot of dope stuff. She played on this movie with Ben Affleck that just was in theaters not that long ago. But she's a writer as well, but she's an actor. She played on Snowfall. So the lady who was directing it, she's from, is it from Minnesota? She's from somewhere. I came in because my casting director was like, hey, Damondray, we got a role for you, and we want you to audition for it. Because the guy who was originally supposed to play it played on Snowfall, but Snowfall was about to start back. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me audition. And when I read the script, I was like, oh, I got this. I've been playing retarded since I was a kid. Like when I was with my siblings in the house. So I was in the house playing. When I did the audition, I was laughing because I'm so goofy. And she sent me she saw the audition. She said, "Oh my God, you so amazing at playing with this role." And then
she said you did it a little bit too well.
That's what she was saying. You did good playing retarded. She didn't say that word though. I was like, "Oh yeah."
I don't know if he'll be insulted by this or what.
Yeah, I will feel I'll be like, yeah, I kind of want the role, but I don't know.
Oh,
It's too many compliments.
So my question is, how
yeah,
did
you're putting
feel?
a little too sauce on that.
How you feel when she said that?
When I was excited because I know when I was at the house, I was tripping. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm about to get this. I'm like, I'm black. I get to play a special needs kids without getting in trouble. Remember what I was talking about earlier?
Right.
You cannot get in trouble. I didn't get in trouble for it. But my characters, yeah, it was crazy. And it was a guy from there. He played on Suicide Squad. He played on Marvel movies. It was a pretty good cast. It was a short film, actually, but that was probably my most challenging, funnest role. Yeah, I would say that.
So, like, when people look back at your filmography, like 10 years from now, what would you want that common thread to be?
Man, he's definitely grown. He's grown tremendously. I remember when he made this movie, and now he's in the box office with whatever the numbers are, or he's at the Golden Globes, or he's doing. So I remember when he started off very humble, and he's still doing his thing. I'm proud of him. He's doing great.
And finally, what do you have coming up in 2026?
I have a 90s film, 2026. I have a 90s film called Infatuation that I wrote that we'll be actually shooting in around May or June, sometime around there. Yeah, based on the 90s, I'm an old soul, so I wrote that. And after that, doing a Christmas movie. And I'm getting ready for this TV series that I'm a part of called Sweet Tweet. What's her name? Deion Sanders' ex-wife. Can't think of her name.
I know you're talking about. I can't think of her name neither.
I know her name, and she'd be mad if she heard me right now. But hey, I love you. I love you. Yeah. But she's in the movie. I'm in the TV series, and she's some people from Tyler Perry's in there, from Zatima, it's a show called Zatima. I'm one of the main characters in there, so it's pretty exciting. I'm ready for season 2, but season 1 ain't even out yet. So when the premiere happens, I'm inviting you guys to come.
You are
most definitely.
Definitely let us know. You really jumped the gun on this season too.
I'm trying to get them two out there. So,
Yeah.
They can fly out there and.
I got flyer miles now, so
I'm gonna tell you
what
miles. Flyer miles. He said flyer miles.
Yes, I have those now.
Oh yeah.
Notice he didn't say frequent.
I ain't at that point.
He ain't beyond getting flued out either.
No, absolutely not. I would love to be flued out, but
I'm gonna tell you why I jumped the gun, because they had already told me they were ready for season 2. So I was like, oh man, they was like, your character's gonna be.
Can
crazy.
you announce that?
Yeah. Nah, it's
okay. I was like, do we need to edit that out? I don't want to get you in no trouble now.
Nah, we ain't in trouble. But you know what? While we edit that. Edit that out, yeah. Edit that out.
But
because they're gonna be looking for me, Damondray. Hey, I heard what you said.
You're gonna get that email. Hey, can we talk to you for a second? Like,
yeah, we don't need you no more. Yeah. I'm like, man, I'll call y'all crying.
No, we don't want that happening for you. But Damondray, sure. Thank you for taking time out to talk to us today.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been a great conversation. We'll be keeping an eye on you, hoping to see you on TV screens everywhere, or even some theaters in the future.
I appreciate that. More blessings to y'all. Thank y'all for having me come on. You know,
most definitely,
guys, even going even higher.
All right, I am once again Kevin Mumphrey, and this is Fucking With Fix It in Post with my colleagues Victoria V.A. Jones.
Most definitely.
And Karsten Hyde Parkson. Man, y'all niggas ain't really got much to say.
We've been waiting on you the whole time.
And that's a wrap.